Hey guys, welcome to an update. I don't really have much to say this week. It's gonna be a short one, less than 10 for sure. I literally just a few minutes ago beat the Maw, which is another game of that thing I mentioned a few days ago. That will deal Twisted Pixel had. Unlike Comic Jumper, where I have great things to say about it, the Maw I have different things to say. It's not a bad game in any way whatsoever. It is a great game. I had a fun time playing it, but it is incredibly short. Like, it is half of a regular game. Like, I completed a level. There's this thing that you could tell was the end of the game, and I was like, they're joking. It's like an end of chapter kind of thing, isn't it? And I just completed the first chapter of the game. And no, it was the end of the game. There I was in the final boss fight, and I was like, well, what the hell? This was a short game. Incredibly short game. What happened? I'm literally talking. This is to Twisted Pixel if you're watching this. What happened? Because you can tell this game was supposed to be longer at one point. What happened? And that's a legit question. How do you make a game this long mess up like this? I don't know. It just seems short to me. It was really short-lived. It was a fun game, but it's incredibly short-lived. There's like 3 add-ons for it, though. I'm not sure what to expect with those, but by the looks of things, they're only 1 level long. And I don't really want to download a 1-level add-on. I've learned my lesson. To any fellow people who like to download things for their games, and I repeat, do not download 1-level add-ons. They are the biggest wastes you can possibly get. I actually remember Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, which is like one of my favorite Star Wars games of all time. Arguably with Lego Star Wars, that's a really good game. And Battlefront. Battlefront's a really good one too. Anyways, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, one of the things in that game is our add-ons. And they're really cool add-ons. Like, there's one you're like in the Jedi Council, there's one you're in Jabba's Palace and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to download the Jabba's Palace one. I want to play like the 5 Jabba's Palace levels, and that's what I expected, 5 Jabba's Palace levels. And while the levels in Lego Star Wars Force Unleashed, that'd be a great game. And while the levels in Star Wars Force Unleashed are long levels, naturally, I only got 1 of them long levels. And it was a little bit longer than usual, but the Jabba's Palace thing was only 1 level long. And I paid 400 points to be about $4, $5 for it. And I guess the game's only 8 levels long, so it's cheaper than a level in the game. But I mean, I just wouldn't be the kind of guy who would buy a card just for 4 more levels in Lego. Stop saying Lego. In Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, it is not the kind of game that I want that in. If I'm paying points for an upgrade to a game, I would like a few more levels. Not levels that seem like they should have been the final cut of the game, and they just didn't finish them in time. I want levels that are like things like, kind of like Borderlands. Borderlands, they usually know they're going to do add-ons, but they don't do the add-ons like, here's half the game. With the rest of it, you got to buy the add-ons. No, they're not like that. Borderlands, for example, is they know there's going to be add-ons, and they're usually things like new characters and to play as, and new levels, new missions, new areas. But these areas, they're full areas. Like, the Borderlands add-ons are long, and they're great. They're like a whole new, the game's only say, the game was split into 4 chapters, just as an example. I mean, it isn't. I mean, it's if it was split into chapters by each city you're in, there's quite a few. But I mean, it's like a fourth of the game. I actually bought 2 of the add-ons at once with the disc that has the Moxies, whatever, and the Zombie Island. But those 2 are those 2 add-ons lasted a long time. I mean, they were not long. They were kind of they were shorter than the game. They weren't I'm getting a whole second game, but they weren't that was short. I mean, I actually got to play them and enjoy them. And, I mean, Borderlands is the kind of game where I feel like somebody hasn't gotten the full experience until they've gotten the add-ons and played through all of those as well. I mean, it feels like they're almost necessary to play the game. Whereas games like 1-level add-ons, like Force Unleashed, it feels like, these are just a quick level we whipped up that was supposed to be in the game, based on your karma or whatever. You didn't get, it's like, why isn't it in the game? Like, Borderlands, with the length of Dr. Ned's Zombie Island or the Secret Armory or Moxie's Underdome or whatever, those add-ons, you can tell were not part of the game at all at any point. They were add-ons. And, even if they were part of the game at one point, meant to be in it, they were too long. They wouldn't count. They would make the game too long. And it's just so much better to say, oh, well, I'm gonna download them part. You would have got your money out of them, even with the games like added with the game itself's price. You would have got your money out of that. But like Force Unleashed, I mean, I just feel like you guys get what I'm going at with this. I'm supposed to talk about the mall. Well, I don't care anymore. But yeah, like I'm just saying, like add-ons, good add-ons last a long time. Or like the characters in Borderlands, I'm not a big fan of those add-ons. I think like the Necromancer, is that what it's called? Necromancer or whatever, I don't care. That thing should be part of an add-on. Like if I download, robot whatever, that should be a bonus to it, not like a thing. I mean, I understand you got a whole new class to play as that has entirely new abilities and entirely new guns and stuff that only they can use. And what's even crazier is you'll get those guns even if you don't have the add-on, which tempts you even more. But I'm not a big fan of character add-ons. I'm not a big fan of one-level add-ons. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of game mode add-ons where you can, now you can play the game where you only have 10 seconds to complete this level. Well, I don't want that. I can just go do that myself. I can go pretend I have that mode and I'd be just as good. Sure, I don't get the achievements or whatever, but close enough. Like Sonic Adventure. I guess Sonic Adventure doesn't count. I was gonna say Sonic Adventure has like well, basically how Sonic Adventure works when you download it is you download Sonic Adventure and you get a direct port of the Dreamcast version. The Dreamcast version does not have mission mode. It does not have Metal Sonic if you get 100%, and it doesn't have the polished graphics. It looks it's a little bit glitchier and stuff. And obviously that's what you'll get. And then if you pay like an extra $4 worth of points, you get the GameCube's upgrades added to it, which that is a good upgrade. It took the whole card to get the whole thing, but I don't care. I enjoyed the mission mode because I've played Sonic Adventure before, and I liked seeing the new stuff that I didn't see in the GameCube because I was too lazy to go out and get the GameCube version. I still don't own the GameCube version. I don't care. I really don't need it, but I really don't want it, but whatever. I still don't own it. If I ever get it, I'll review it for you guys. Because, it's not the same thing as the third upgrade at long last. It's one of them games, it's like Pac-Man. They have to have it in every single generation. Oh, a new generation of systems is out. What games will we release for it? Oh, Pac-Man and Sonic Adventure. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They basically re-release all the old Sonic games on a new system. It's how Sonic is done. It's kind of like the Sonic games, they carry on. You have to go downgrade your systems to get them. Which makes sense. I agree with that idea. But with all the systems being cloud services in the future, I think those are going to be the only kinds of games you can get. I think that's going to be a major problem with the Xbox 720, we're running out of time. The major problem with the Xbox 720 and PS4 both being cloud services, I think the Steam box might be using a cloud service, but it's not going to be one. I think the major problem with these systems being a cloud service is you won't be able to tell full games from download games. I mean, besides price. Someone could sell me Banjo-Kazooie full price, and I wouldn't know because I'd be convinced it's a full game because it's with all the download games. And I'm sure there will be a separator for this, but, they better do a good job separating these things. Virtual console, full games, arcade games, just Xbox-only games, kind of like the Wii does. The Wii has, classic games, Wii-only games, arcade games. It's all separated by systems and everything. And that's what the 720 needs. I'll see you guys in the next update. I'm not gonna drag this out anymore. It's as long as it needs to be. Whew, I'm also running out of breath. I've talked so fast in this update to get it in under 10 minutes. I'm just gonna say I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next Wednesday where I'll talk a little bit more about games. I'll maybe beat Miss Explosion Man by that time so I can talk about that one. Or I'll talk about Plants vs. Zombies. You guys wanted me to talk about that one since I've said I got it, which is years, like half a year ago.